Hey there, come on in. Welcome to Myriad Movie Mondays. I'm so glad you're here. I would love it if you sat down and joined me for a bit. This week, we watched Dark City. What did you think? I was really impressed with this movie. It was doing some neat stuff in 1998 that still holds up in 2026. First off, I was impressed with the expansion in scope over the course of the movie. We start in a single room with no clue what's going on, just like the main character. It's about as narrow of a scope as could be imagined. But then the scope starts to widen in fits and starts. We see a dead body. Then we start to wonder, is the protagonist a serial killer? Why are people misremembering things or seemingly going crazy? And then it expands a bit more. There's a shady organization or cult maybe. Who are they? How did they fit into the events going on? And bit by bit, it all widens until the plot is the size of the whole city and functionally the whole world, with the protagonist developing godlike powers. And of course, this all goes hand in hand with just how well the mystery unfolds. We start with a bunch of seemingly unrelated questions like the ones I asked earlier. Like we talked about last week, the more things you set up, the more payoffs you have to land at the end. The more questions you ask, the more answers we need. At first, I was worried they were setting up too many things, making the mystery too big for them to satisfyingly follow through on. But they did it a lot better than I expected. By the end, it all pretty much made sense. I've heard it said that a good mystery has to be both surprising and inevitable. I don't know how surprising the ending is in 2026, but I bet it was pretty surprising back in 1998 when it came out. Moreover, the answers were inevitable and satisfying. Rather than relying on a single reveal, they slowly reveal things throughout the movie. It may not get the same oh my god moment as one big reveal, but I think it does make the plot less gimmicky, and it's part of what helps the story hold up better over time. In addition to the overall mystery and plot structure, the characters were well done. Both Rufus Sewell and Jennifer Connelly did a lot with a little, portraying much of their characters through nuance, given that they didn't have a ton of time for character development, as most of the movie was focused on the mystery and the action. And then, of course, the visuals and the aesthetics were incredible, starting with the gritty noir sets and then incorporating some pretty amazing VFX, especially for the 90s, with the city transformation scenes, which would later be a point of inspiration for Inception. Finally, it doesn't go super deep into the philosophical questions it presents, again, spending most of its time on just keeping the plot moving forward. But it was exploring some interesting ideas about what makes us human. It was treading a lot of the same ground as The Matrix, which would come out a year later. And also, this may be a bit of a deep cut, but it reminded me somewhat of an episode from Doctor Who. It's the second Matt Smith episode entitled The Beast Below that takes place on the starship UK, a grungy city flying through the stars with a conspiracy centered on memory. Even if you're not familiar with the episode, you can probably see the overlap there. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by this one and will definitely be revisiting it in the future, but how about you? Did Dark City work for you or not? Why? Are there other movies that feel like they fit in with Dark City and The Matrix? Let me know in the comments or make your own video. I'd love to see it. Next up.
Who could it be? What could it mean? Find out next time on Myriad Movie